What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here. Today we're at Scott's Hot Rods here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I wanted to do a shop tour, so I think Cameron is going to show us around real quick. Yep, there he is. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Great. We're going to check out the shop?
Yeah, come on back.
Awesome. Oh man, this place is way bigger when you actually walk in.
Oh yeah, we got 20,000 square feet, and we're looking to already add on to the building. Wow. We've been here 3 years now. We moved here from California. Main reason is to be centrally located to our customer base, and to be centrally located to car shows we go to. We do about 23 car shows. Well, there's 23 car shows on the schedule this year. Wow. That changes. Sometimes we add one if we have a free weekend, or we have to cancel one because we're double booked. It depends on what we got going on in the shop. Yeah, we try to do a lot. Like you're just down to Pigeon Forge.
Yep, we saw you out there at Grand Nationals. Yeah,
that one's 45 minutes away.
Nice.
Close.
Awesome.
But we also drive out to places, you know, Scottsdale, Texas, Minneapolis, Des Moines, Columbus, Syracuse, New York. We go all across the country. Wow.
Well, let's I guess show us some of the stuff you guys do and the parts, and mostly the chassis. That's what I'm excited about, is the chassis and the parts.
This is a 50 model Ford F1. It's got a 351 in it, you know, from the customer. It's on our new chassis. This is about ready to go to paint. This is a very simple build compared to everything else we do. It is really more of a rust repair. Get the motor and trans in, get some inner fenders, and it's just about road ready.
This thing is beautiful. I love the ride height. It's on coilovers or bags?
Coilovers.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
What's up?
Let me try to show this one. See if that's...
And since it's Ford, we'll go to the next closest thing we got to a Ford. A 51 Mert. It was a quote-unquote running driving vehicle when we got it. So it's the customer's build. This type of bodywork was all hidden under Bondo. I mean, that doesn't be explain how bad it was. Wow. So we're gonna be rebuilding the whole thing out of sheet metal.
Wow.
It's gonna be a long two-door suicide. It's gonna be a killer ride when it's all done.
I've been seeing this Dodge forever. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about it? It's so cool.
Well, this customer, he started out as a front suspension order.
Really?
And then it turned into a chassis, and it turned into a what I call a put-together build. He just wanted us to put the motor and trans in stock body and call it good. Then I guess he's got a buddy that works at Mopar, and his buddy convinced him to put a Hellcat in it. And then that's when he called us up and gave us a green light to do whatever we wanted to do. I mean, with his approval, but he told us to get the green light. Wow. The funny thing was, we chopped the top about 2 to 3 inches. When he called us up, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm 6'3", and I'm still gonna fit." And we told him, "Dude, you told us green light. You do whatever we want to do." He figured out we were joking pretty quick. I mean, the Dodge cab is pretty big. He'll fit just fine. But it's a pretty radical build. There's over 300,000 in it so far.
Wow.
We're still not done with the body. We still got to do paint and interior. We send that out for paint and interior. So it'll be well over 500,000 when it's all done.
Wow.
And here, this one's unique, different. The 76 Rolls-Royce Cornish two-door hardtop. We're turning into a Bentley for our customer out of Texas. It's got an LT4 with 8-speed auto behind it, just like it came in the vet. Coilover chassis is going to sit real low, just like a lot of our coilover stuff does, but it's still drivable. He's working on the inner fenders right now. After that, there's not too much more sheet metal that's got to be done, just some dashboard. And then we'll be getting finished plumbing it.
That's radical.
here, this is a complete Merc chassis. Featuring our 2x4 mandrel bent frame rails. It's all mandrel bent. And, you know, it's all 100% TIG welded on all the builds we do. It is bagged. It's what we call our Super Slam chassis. And it'll lay frame 100%. Not a problem. This one's getting a Ford Mazda motor, so 4654 Coyote. Adjustable trans mount. Moser 4.9-inch rear. Time stuff through these bags. Rytech shocks on all four corners, so they're single adjustable and rebound.
Dude, these welds are freaking beautiful.
Yeah, don't tell our guys that. Their heads will grow too big. But we do pride ourselves on our TIG weld. We always get people asking, you know, how do we get a job at a place like that? One, can you TIG weld? No? Bye. I mean, you're not saying you can never work in the industry. Just go learn how to TIG weld.
Yeah.
And be able to stack dimes like that.
There you go.
And be consistent.
You have to weld like a robot, but not be a robot.
Exactly. The robot could not weld this chassis with everything. Well, I'm sure some robot in the world could, but
yeah,
you know, nothing that we could afford.
Yeah. And everything is handmade pretty much right here in America.
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Everything's made American source steel. Anything we can buy American, we buy American. Even if there are cheaper options, foreign, we buy American. There are some parts that the spindles and a couple other small things. Sad to say it, but they're all from China. I mean,
that's industry standard.
Yeah, everybody has to buy it. And we just finally got our drop spindles back in. Those are on back orders.
Nice.
Yeah, we really like the Slam Shell SG bags paired with the Rytech shock to make our Super Slam IFS work properly.
Awesome.
And if you don't want to go to the ground, we got coilovers, whatever ride height you want.
That's one of those. Oh, I guess majority.
This is also in bags. This is a 47 Cadillac, which we will be. It's a complete build we're going to be doing. We're waiting for the customer to bring their vehicle. They're waiting for us to tell them to bring their vehicle. We don't have room for it.
Gotcha. You guys have stuff all over. Oh.
I know it's not a Ford, but it's the Blazer. It's an 82 two-wheel drive Blazer. Probably the most expensive square body Blazer out there. It's got probably about $30,000 worth of brushed chrome in it.
Is this the one that was at Dino's?
Yeah, it's at Dino's.
Okay.
The individual who no longer works for us that wired it did not do a up to par job. I'll leave it at that. So that's why we're rerunning a lot of the wires, actually rewiring the entire vehicle. But we'll be driving to Nashville next week for a Good Guys show. Nice.
That's awesome. What are some of the parts you guys have on the shelf?
Here. All these Moser rear ends here are for upcoming chassis. You know, these are, you know, Lords of Customs out of California, another Merc. And then we got all the third members in there, and all the axles are on the other side in boxes. Most of the time it's a 370 gear. It's most common when you're running overdrive. We can do any gear you want, you know, 3.0s, 330s, 350s, 370s, 390s, 410s. It's all Moser 4.9-inch. Or if we're doing a Watt Sync on the back instead of a panhard bar, we do the Moser Fab 9 housing. It gives us a flat place to weld to.
Nice.
We've got fuel pumps in stock for fuel tanks we make. More rack and pinions, Rytech shocks and Rytech coilover kits, Alden American coilovers, Willwood brake accessory parts, and we got Willwood brakes, you know, all down there. We're a little low on stock, surprisingly.
That's low on stock.
That's low on stock.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
A few more brake kits over here, energy suspension bushings, down tubes for our Nova clips, Slam Specialties front bags and tapered air springs, Willwood Pro drop spindles, our standard spindles, and then our drop spindles we just got back in stock, and then more power rack and pinions.
Awesome. You guys definitely have a good quantity over here, so you don't have to wait too much for stuff.
Yeah, now that we have room out here, since we moved from California, we have a little more shelf space. We're looking to get more pallet racking once we get some more room. We used to buy, say, 50 racks at a time. Now we're buying 250 racks at a time. So we have them in stock.
That's awesome.
It's the same with spindles. Back in California, we didn't have enough room to keep all this inventory. But now we do.
Yeah.
We'll just take you over to the chassis department now.
Sure.
So this is a 66 F100. So 61 to 66, same frame. It's basically the same frame as this 67, 72 as far as we're concerned. Body mounts are slightly different. We changed it accordingly. But the features on this chassis, like all of ours, 2x4 mandrel bent rails, 100% TIG welded, chassis X member, 49-inch rear, everything good to go. Upgrades on this chassis include torsion spline and sway bar, Willwood Pro drop spindles, Ride Tech single adjustable coilovers, Coyote motor mounts, power rack and pinion, fuel tank, stainless steel fuel line plug, stainless steel brake line plug, trans mount, all of our line clamps. All these little line clamps are machined here in-house, and they're also available for purchase. Fuel lines, brake lines, and all of them, they're in the most common sizes. We do get a lot of people asking for special size, and we can make them, but your one clamp is going to be very expensive to manufacture that one.
Yeah. But
all of your common sizes for lines are covered.
Where can people check that out?
ScottsHotRods.com. Back here, like I showed you earlier, this is your Fab 9 housing for when you run Watts link on the back. Watts link keeps an equal length parallel 4-bar directly in line.
Yep.
With no left to right lateral movement. This guy's going to be beating on it a bit. So this has got all the goodies on it. He's getting big brakes, 14-inch Willwood brakes on all 4 corners. Like I said, torsion spline sway bars front and rear, Watts link out back. A chassis like this with these big options, you're about 23,000.
That's not that bad.
No, and it's everything you see here. The brakes are in there. The third membrane axles are back over there on the shelf. They'll be packed up in the customer picks it up.
Do you guys offer like a fully powder coated version, or you're only doing bare?
We do powder coating, but I tend not to push that too much, because say you're going to be tubbing the bed on the truck. You don't want to be pulling the body on and off or fitting a piece of sheet metal with a nice powder coated frame. You're going to scratch it. Or there might be a tab you want to weld on for your exhaust. So unless you're dead set, you're not doing any mods like that, I will sell you powder coat, but I don't want to take your money and then you be upset and scratch it. So
gotcha.
But in the end, I do recommend you coat it, powder coat or a good epoxy enamel, something like that to protect the frame.
Nice. And this is how they look when they're on the way to the customer. Yep,
that's actually a coilover Merc chassis. He's going over to Germany.
Oh wow.
We're waiting on him to figure out his freight forwarder. So we ship all across the world. We ship a lot to New Zealand, Australia, Europe, Canada. Canada is actually a big customer, except they always complain about customs, and that's not me.
You're like, I'll drop it off in Michigan if you just want to come pick it up.
Yeah, that's on them. But they got to argue with customs or taxes. That's because they live in Canada.
Yeah.
Or whatever other country. So we do the best we can. Up top here, that's a 67 C10 truck. One of our customers out of Georgia. It's also about the same rate as that Ford F1 over there. It's about ready to hit the road.
Nice.
We do a little bit of shakedown on it, make sure everything's running great, and then we're going to send it out for paint and then interior.
Nice.
Right here, this is our chassis assembly area, or department, whatever you call it. And this is a square body C10, Island American coilovers, double adjustable coilovers on front and rear. It's got a little extra chassis X member in it. This customer's going to beat on it quite a bit. He's running an LS with somewhere between 800 and 1,000 horsepower.
Oh wow!
So that's why he's got a little bit extra beef in the center. We'll be mounting the body on this for the customer and going from there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely one heck of I guess stiffener. Is that what those are called?
Chassis crossover, chassis X member, and then we incorporate the drive shaft loop in there for safety purposes. Just get rid of all as much flex as possible. You still want a little bit of flex in it, or else it's not comfortable to ride in. Over here we got our 8-speed plasma cable from Westcott. using the thermodynamics head unit. This cuts out all of our plates, anything, you know, flat, either 1/8 inch, 3/16, 1/4 inch, or bigger. Motor mount tabs, shock tabs, all that stuff. We use an HD plasma table because it cuts what you call square holes, which is a bolt ready hole. It's not going to have a taper to it.
Oh wow.
So you just need to clean up a little bit of the slag from, you know, it being a plasma.
Yep.
And you're good to go. We thought about getting the laser machine, but for the cost of the laser machine, as much as you should be using it, we don't use it. I mean, we use it every day, but right now it's not running.
Yeah.
If you get a laser machine, you want to be that thing running to make up your money.
Oh, in a couple years probably.
Yeah.
Big old power hammers and.
Yeah, that's a Yoder hammer, is what they call it, power hammer. You know, it makes a lot of noise and moves metal pretty fast. Then we got a pole mat, a magnetic brake, a trap former, lazy bead roller, planishing hammer, slip roll, brake, and then the QC department. And behind you is a cool new machine from Bailey. We got it just about a year ago. Sorry, got this almost a year ago. Yeah, it was literally last April, May we got this. The Bailey 2x4 mandrel tube bender, and it does 2x4 120 wall. It bends it the hard way. As you saw in those other chassis, all over stuff like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That changes the chassis game.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
That's amazing.
We'll go back around this way. So.
Okay.
I mean, it's a really cool machine. I love it. Makes all of our chassis look great, stronger, better, and all that. What sucks for me personally, I do the catalog. I do the website. So every single photo that has the whole catalog of the chassis,
It has to get redone.
is outdated.
Oh man.
So I'm actually working on the new catalog right now, and all these new chassis coming off the production line, I'm cutting out and putting them in the catalog.
Nice. So what did you guys used to have? You used to weld the, I guess, cut out on the plasma and then weld them all?
It was on we used the bandsaws, miter cut, weld together, and we would, you know, triple weld the seams and all that. So they weren't bad in any way. We never had problems with anything breaking. But a mandrel bend looks better. It is stronger, and mainly it makes production go much faster. You'd have one of our chassis guys making rails and taking about a day and a half for like a Ford truck. We're just straight rails with bends in it. Now the Bailey mandrel tube bender took that day and a half, turned it into about 30 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, that just ramps up production like crazy.
Yeah. So our main chassis guy, Justin Ogle, he can gather the next group of chassis and bend all the rails in one day.
Wow.
Or all the pieces to rails. With certain chassis have a couple extra bends in them. He can get that done in one day for say 10 chassis, if not more, versus a day and a half per chassis.
Wow.
So now we have 5 chassis tables with 5 workers cranking out chassis every week. Our orders are up, our production is way up, but it still seems like we can't catch up, which, I mean, it's a good problem to have. We're trying to fulfill orders as fast as possible. There's only so much we can do.
Hey, as long as there's a high demand because it's a good product, right?
Yeah. This is another Merc chassis. As you can tell, we build things in batches. So when we were working on our order list, everything, you know, everybody gets moved up, and then say all of a sudden, you know, a Merc comes up, you know, at the top of the list. So then we go down the list to see if any other Mercs are on order or similar chassis. These all get grouped together. So one guy may have been waiting, you know, 18 to 24 weeks for his chassis, but there's another guy who ordered it 4 weeks ago. He gets put the bottom line, but he still gets it faster. So some people, you know, get pushed back a little bit, which, you know, hard to say with this production. But overall, we're producing more chassis that way. Because he'll knock out a Merc. While someone else over here is knocking out square body C10, square body C10, square body C10. That's on the Merc. And then we got a 55, 59 Chevy truck. That guy's been building about 10 of those in a row. And then beyond that, there's another C10 chassis.
Wow.
But we do a lot of Ford chassis and C10 chassis. We do anything from 1925 to 1987. You know, any year, make, model. We only do two-wheel drive. Sorry, we don't do any off-road stuff.
And it's just, I love seeing like actual physical stuff getting built like this, and it's just so cool because, you know, you go to a truck show and you'll see all these trucks and they're riding on different chassis, your whoever's it is, but you never really see the chassis. It's the hardest thing to see because it's underneath. When you see it over here, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like when you get a really cool billet engine part, so like an engine cradle. It's really cool. You put it in there, you never ever get to see it again.
Yeah.
Or you get some badass connecting rods, some, you know, Eagle H-beams or I-beams, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You'll never, well, you don't ever want to see it.
Yeah.
If you do see it, you got problems.
Yeah, 100%. So that's what you were saying about the hand TIG welded every part.
Yes. Everything is 100% TIG welded. This is another 55-9 Chevy truck frame. On these trucks, we run a 2x4 metal bent front and rear piece with a 2x6 center section. You know, mainly for strength, we use dual layer X member, and also on the trucks they came stock with a 6-inch chassis rail. So your running board mounts like on a Ford or Chevy and mount to it. They're not hanging out anymore.
Nice. Looks like a race car chassis over here.
Yeah. It's a this is a 65 to 70 Mustang.
Okay.
With pinched in rails up front. The guys are going to be 12-inch wide wheels, front and rear. Full floater rear end from Moser with flat slink on it. We add to it. It's all the cool shit. He's going to be running about 800 horse or more. It's going to be a real cool chassis when it's done. Like I said, he's just about done building the chassis. He's just going to weld it out next. So, another unique thing about Scott's Hot Rods, we have our own machine shop. We have 7 CNC machines, so 4 CNC mills, 3 CNC lathes. This BF3 is, it has a 4th axis, the trunnion table, which you can see here. That table pivots. So this is what starts out as our upper and lower A-arm cross tube. This is where your A-arm bolts to. It's a solid bar. It used to take about 22 minutes to get one of these machine and tap, and 2 set screws, holes put in it. Now we put 4 in at once, and it's about 10 minutes for 4.
Wow.
So production time and use of our time, try to use it wisely. Because it would take someone to sit here all day to do all that. Now they get that done in the morning.
That's awesome.
And have plenty of time. So here's a good example of why we machine our own stuff. Steel is for ball joint cups. This is what it starts out as. This is what it ends up as.
That's so cool. It must be really interesting to just come out here and see all this stuff just get made all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we do as much production in here as possible. One, we maintain our own inventory. 2, we maintain quality. The big thing about quality is, say we get bad steel, we'll know when we're cutting it, or it'll throw bits, throw parts, or it'll sound wrong, or whatever. We'll stop that run and get rid of it, send that material back and get better material. You know, so we're not relying on somebody else because we don't know anything about that metal. So if we have a problem with it, it's on us.
Yeah.
Over here, there are signature clevises for upper A-arm adjustable rod ends. They start off with stainless steel block, get machined down. That's beautiful. And then these are all at the same stage right now. The next thing is they'll get put back in there and slotted, and then the clevis goes inside of it for upper A-arm. Cool new product. LT4 or LT direct injection valve and coil. Those will be on the website very soon.
That's, I guess, what he's working on the computer, looks like.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So we have a couple LT4 motors here, and he's already scanned them, he's testing them, and this is the first run, so it may not look exactly like that when it's done, but it's our test fit piece.
There you go.
Well, here's one out on the machine. So that's the valve cover part, and then the coil's mounting here. So there'll be a cover on it.
Yeah.
And so that's the inside.
That's awesome.
It's got the relief for the gasket put in there and a little tab for the LT gaskets.
I'm assuming the parts on the shelf are just the different hinges and stuff that you guys make?
Yes. Here's our, well, this is a test fit piece. This is an LS valve cover, valve and coil cover. You can already buy this LS motor, 1, 2, or 3s. And for our brake pedal assemblies, here's a billet replacement arm for the brake and clutch with adjustable pedals. So you adjust the positions. Oops. Sorry about that. Don't tell me. This is our new hot rod pedal. It's a universal mount billet gas pedal. It has an adjustable mount here, so you flip this around for different heights. In here, if you take this apart, it has clockable pins. I don't know if you can see them in there.
Oh yeah.
And so you can take that apart. It has the needle bearing washers in there for easy movement. It's got a return spring in it. And this pedal is also offset, so you can unbolt it and flip it over. It looks exactly the same.
Go like that.
Very cool. It'll give you a different height. And it's all mounted on the firewall or on your kick panel. And you can adjust it any way. And you just get a normal low car throttle cable, turn it up, good to go.
Awesome.
Down here, these are 60 to 66 C10 hood hinges. We designed these for vehicles for 60 to 66 C10s. When you bag them or go very low on coilovers, you get rid of the inner fenders. You have no hood hinges. Instead of doing a front tilt, which is overplayed, kind of the less cool way to do it, we made hood hinges. So your hood operates in normal fashion. You can still run the stock hood release, and you're good to go. We make a very similar set for the 6772 F100s. Same idea. When you bag it, lay it out, your inner fenders disappear.
So those firewall mounted.
Yeah, so now they're firewall mounted, and actually on the Fords, they mount to where the original inner fender mounted.
Okay, those 4 bolts.
Yeah, good to go.
Sweet. Yeah, I've got a set of billet hinges on my truck, but my truck's lifted. It's outside, and it's going to the fenders. And everybody always asks me, and I'm like, well, if you're going low, you can't use these because you're going to get rid of your fenders.
Yeah. And then here's some more rails. We knocked these out this morning. Let me show you out back.
Yeah.
This is our back lot. This is where you get all the deliveries. We got our lunch area out there. And just beyond that, we got the cool feature of this property, a little creek back there. You can go fishing at lunch.
That's awesome.
So, and it's all green here. I think they outlawed green stuff in California, so.
Well, they put in law other green stuff, but got rid of that kind of green stuff.
Yeah. No, one thing all of us California people that moved out here, we really embraced some southern lifestyle. It's more relaxed out here. Shit's green.
Yeah,
I mean,
beautiful.
Nobody waters that. It just rains all the time. But it's not, I mean, you get used to it. Like my house at home, I don't water the lawn at all. It just stays green magically.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is our back lot, or side lot. We got a couple of our shop vehicles here. That's the 66 Suburban there. It's got our front and rear suspension on it, sitting on hot rods by Boyd wheels, Michelin tires. It's got a 383 stroker in it. It's a crappy fuel injection on it we're going to get rid of. We're actually putting LSA in it.
Nice.
I mean, that's a 430 horsepower motor, but why not go to 560? It'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna keep it's got a Bowler 5-speed in it, so you're gonna change the clutch out for the LSA, but it'll all be good. And that garage out there, that's our Peterbilt 389 with our 53-foot stacker trailer from the competition trailers. That's where we take the shows.
The big rig.
The big rig, yeah. Black Betty, I don't know. Hocus Pocus, something like that.
All the garbage chassis that come off the builds, I guess.
Yeah, most of those are chassis that customers have brought to us to get measurements off of, and then they don't want them. Or they're off, a couple of them are off project vehicles that are in the shop as the original chassis, so we took it out and over there. We just haven't had time to cut them up, throw them away.
Yeah.
And honestly, most of them are hacked up and junk. We got a Merc we're gonna eventually build.
Looks like you guys have so much space over here that you could definitely have space to like expand, because it looks like you're busting at the seams in there.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
We're looking to add on already, so.
Awesome. Well, let everybody know where they could check you out. I'm sure, I mean, I would assume this is probably where the end of the tour is, huh?
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's always more to see, but check us out at scottshotrods.com or Instagram at scottshotrods or Facebook Scott's Hot Rods and Customs. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I had a great time walking around. I'm sure we're going to chat some more here, and we'll see you in the next one. As always, give us a thumbs up. If you can, comment on the video. Have any questions, drop them down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. See you later.